to your end afterwards.
Of course.
I'd love to talk to you more.
Awesome. Thanks. All right. Hey, everybody. All right, let's jump right into it. And I'm going to ask us to crowd a little bit on this side to go through a slide deck, if that's okay. I'm going to try to fit 2 product demos and an overview in about 3 minutes. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks. So we're a nonprofit company based out of San Francisco called Medic Mobile. We have a team of 20, and we now work in 16 countries with a focus on Africa and Asia. And our problem statement is this, that there are 1 billion people who are never going to see a health worker in their lives. I came face to face with this as a student here at Stanford in 2007. Landed at a clinic in Malawi, and patients were literally walking oxycarting 100 miles to get access to a single doctor. And turns out they did have access to 2 things. They had access to village-level volunteers, community health workers, and mobile phones. So I had a better mobile signal at a community health worker's home than they did in Palo Alto. It was a crazy new world where this infrastructure has been laid out at our feet. And so what we do is we build mobile applications for community health workers and distributed web applications for managers and clinicians. And I think that the technology decisions are what I'm hoping to impart here, because we spent a lot of time, about 4 years, with different technologies and different open source tools. And we finally took the approach to look at what was ubiquitous. It was already in the hands of both our patients and the health workers, and it turns out there's a standard that runs across all types of mobile devices. You can actually run applications directly off of a mobile phone SIM card. And the way that we're doing that is with this guy. So this is a parallel SIM that's thin enough to fit basically alongside an existing SIM card. So this runs our application, and the existing SIM ties into the mobile network. So this is going to serve as a diagnostic hub. This is going to run protocols and applications for health workers and patients. And the existing SIM ties into the mobile network and lets us do the data transfer. This is sort of an exciting realization for us, because typically you needed to partner directly with the mobile operators and convince them to put your application onto a SIM card. And we can now deploy this to hundreds and thousands of users, do the randomized controlled trials, and make the case through specific use cases that needs to be scaled. And then we talk to the mobile operators and convince them to port it over to their toolchain to get to 100,000 and 10 million users. So the mobile operators are also really receptive to this, because they don't need to sink the time into changing their applications on their SIM cards. So this was basically our gateway to trying out this really ubiquitous and standardized platform. It was exciting for a couple of reasons. One, it works on $10 phones that are already in the hands of real folks. 2, it was secure. So this is the same platform that mobile operators are using to scale out financial services like mobile banking. M-Pesa in Kenya is a really good example. And you can do encrypted data transfer. So I'm envisioning this being used for personal health records, for example. It also does things like validation. So these are actually pretty complicated applications that run on the simplest of phones. So it does data validation and skip logic for things like protocols for specific treatments. And then you have to manage it somehow. So this is a sneak peek that's going to be released next week of a distributed web application called Kuchula. Basically, you need to send an SMS data to go somewhere and to be used by people. So this is making use of a new database technology called CouchDB, which basically lets you run a database in a distributed way across an unlimited number of nodes. And you basically replicate when you get connected. So for health posts and facilities that are on the fringe of internet connectivity, when they do get a connection, whether it's 5 minutes a day or 5 minutes a week, all the data synchronizes, and we can actually push updates to the application and the database itself through that synchronization period. So we work with about 6,000 community health workers, serving hundreds of thousands of patients, so it needs to be a lot more.
4,
Yeah, apparently.
That's not 1. Everybody stop talking and move to the left. Or everyone stop talking, move to the next group.